Published 0911 est, the 11th of November 2017. Updated 1406 est, the 11th of November 2017. Trump's relationship with Moscow has stalked the first year of his presidency, with key former aides under a U.S. investigation for alleged collaboration with the Kremlin. President Donald Trump said Saturday he believes Vladimir Putin is being sincere when he denies meddling in the U.S. election that propelled Trump to power, adding that the Russian leader felt very insulted by the allegations. But in Washington, the director of the CIA said he stood by the U.S. intelligence community's assessment that Russia did try to meddle in the election. Trump, whose key former aides are under U.S. investigation for possible collaboration with the Kremlin, said he repeatedly asked Putin about the claims during their chats at the APEC summit in the Vietnamese resort of Da Nang. Putin said he didn't meddle. I asked him again, Trump told reporters on Air Force One as he flew to Hanoi for a state visit. You can only ask so many times. He said he absolutely did not meddle in our election, Trump said, adding he felt Putin seemed very insulted by the persistent accusations, which was not a good thing for our country. I really believe that when he tells me that, he means it, added Trump, who is marking 1 year since his shock election victory. In May, U.S. intelligence chiefs told Congress that they agreed with their analysts' conclusion that Russia had meddled in the election. And in January, 17 U.S. intelligence agencies took the extraordinary step of stating publicly that they believed Russia did try to interfere in the election. In a statement to CNN Saturday after Trump spoke, CIA Director Mike Pompeo, who was appointed by Trump, said he still believes in that evaluation. The director stands by and has always stood by the January 2017 intelligence community assessment, entitled Assessing Russian Activities and Intentions in Recent U.S. Elections. The intelligence assessment with regard to Russian election meddling has not changed, the statement reads. Fantasies. The U.S. president's latest comments suggest he accepts Russia's staunch denials that the Kremlin played no part in helping him get to the White House, allegations that continue to dog Trump's administration. U.S. Democratic lawmakers criticized Trump harshly for his statement. Representative Adam Schiff, the senior Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, said Trump fools no one. Schiff said Trump understands the Russians hacked into Democratic leaders' emails and dumped them, and used social media in a bid to hurt Hillary Clinton and help him win the election and divide the country. He understands all this and more, Schiff said in a statement. He just doesn't understand how to put country over self. Or to put it in terms he is more familiar with, Mr. Trump simply can't bring himself to put America first. Putin also addressed the allegations on Saturday after his meeting with Trump, describing them as a U.S. domestic political struggle. I think these are some sort of fantasies, he told reporters in Da Nang. Putin said he didn't meddle. I asked him again, U.S. President Donald Trump told reporters on Air Force One as he flew to Hanoi for a state visit. Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort and an associate are under house arrest on charges unrelated to the election, which were brought by special counsel Robert Mueller, who is investigating the allegations that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia. Revelations by Facebook and Twitter that Russian-sponsored fake news flooded U.S. social media during the election run-up have further deepened scrutiny on ties between the nations. Trump and Putin met 3 times on the margins of the APEC summit, sharing warm handshakes and brief words. The pair appeared to have struck a chummy tone, with Trump describing a very good feeling after the talks, and Putin remarking on the well-mannered former reality TV star. Asked by reporters on Air Force One if he believed Putin, Trump said he was keen to move on to other issues. Look, I can't stand there and argue with him, Trump said. I'd rather have him get out of Syria. I would rather get to work with him on the Ukraine. The exchanges produced a rare common ground on the war in Syria, a bloody 6-year conflict which has seen the U.S. and Russia back competing factions. In a joint statement, the leaders said there was no military solution to the war, an agreement that may mark a small step toward peace. America First. Trump also gave a loud airing to his America First rhetoric at the APEC summit. In a speech on Friday, Trump said American jobs had been siphoned overseas by countries with cheap labor but little compunction to play by trade rules. We are not going to let the United States be taken advantage of anymore, he said, adding his country would now use its economic might to cut favorable bilateral deals. China's President Xi Jinping laid out a different narrative to the same halt, positioning the world's second-largest economy at the heart of the future of global free trade as the U.S. retreats. As a first mark of a new trade era without the U.S. as its pivot point, 11 Asia-Pacific countries on Saturday agreed to press ahead with the Trans-Pacific Partnership (TPP), a major agreement abruptly abandoned by Trump at the start of the year. that dismayed allies and cast into doubt an agreement heralded for linking lower tariffs to strong environmental and labor protections. After a three-day wrangle that at points threatened to see the massive pact unravel, delegates from economies including Japan, Australia, Canada and Malaysia agreed to rescue core elements of the deal. APEC is an annual summit bringing together 21 Pacific Rim countries representing 60% of global GDP. It emerged in 1989, casting itself as a beacon for free, open trade and globalization, an idea that has been shunted aside since Trump's ascent to power and the UK's Brexit vote. Bersuk JJ Sorry, we are not currently accepting comments on this article.